Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So, Qurbānī is done. Alhamdulillah. Just picked it up. We have habits, mashallah, which sometimes we send our meat across to a foreign country in order to, I don't know what the reason is. We sometimes think that there's more poor people, I guess, in the foreign country. So we send it across there. And as a result, what happens is our children miss out on the Qurbānī getting done. So when the children miss out on the Qurbānī getting done, they don't see the practice, they don't see what goes on, they don't ask their parents why we're doing this, what's the reason behind it. So it's a missed opportunity to discuss with our children what the reasons and rationale behind it. And it's a big thing that, that they miss out on. I remember when I was a kid, that this was something that my parents obviously did it regularly, and I would walk with my father. We used to have, in the street I was born in, Hanover Square, we used to have a shop there, two shops in fact, and when we would go and we'd have those kind of yellow Khyber tubs, fat tubs, just shows how much fat we used to eat. And we used to go with that, and the shopkeeper would put the meat in and we'd bring it back, and I remember the metal handle sort of tearing into your fingers as we'd carry them back. I think I was probably about sort of 10, 11 years old. I used to go with my father, and my mum would have, in one of our rooms upstairs, she'd have all the I don't know what it was, must be newspapers and things like that she'd put on the floor, and then she'd start sharing out the meat in little piles, and then she would hand them to me, and I would start from the bottom of Hanover Square. I think in those days, way back in the day, it was number 7 Hanover Square. Now obviously the masjid is built, Masjid Namira, and we've lost a couple of houses obviously as a result, and that's I think it's still called 10 and 11, so we've not lost those houses. So we used to start with number 7, and then I used to work my way around, all the way around. The advantage of giving Qurbānī out is all the masigani, as we used to call them, used to give you sweets and stuff. So you say, oh, don't go yet, come inside and grab something to eat. But slowly with the passage of time as a community, we've sort of stopped doing that here in this country, and we send it abroad, and it's less hassle, it's less headache, but we're missing a learning opportunity. So it's important to do that. Some kind of questions firing around, that Muslims describe this as a time of mercy, as a time where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed mercy, but what we need to, and then how can this be merciful in the sense that we're killing so many animals, and where's the mercy in that? Well, the mercy we're speaking about here is that, in the time where human sacrifice existed, this is the time when Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam was asked to slaughter his child, and human sacrifices were normal. Young children, especially young girls, pure young girls being sacrificed to idols was the norm, in order to seek forgiveness, in order to, if anger had been brought about or incurred because of some activities that the people had engaged in. So as a result, they used to partake in those kind of sacrifices, and in fact you could see that the Sharia actually came to forbid those sacrifices in a very open and demonstrative way, in that here we had Ibrahim alayhi salam, who was asked to sacrifice his son, but actually eventually what he does is he sacrifices an animal. So this challenged the whole concept of human sacrifice, so that in itself is a mercy. Those who then say, well, you're eating lots of animals. Well, animals are not haram. Animals are there to be consumed. We have a premise, we have a foundation that everything on the earth has been created for us, and they're there to be consumed. And I've discussed this already in a couple of earlier videos or a couple of earlier lectures, particularly I think during the radio phone-in, the radio show on South African radio stations. This question came up as well. So we are, if you look, you have your canines there, and your mouth is structured to consume meat. Our body is structured to consume meat. There's lots of things in meat which we need, which we are in need of, the various nutrients and the various proteins that we need in order to survive. And you see now, this new fad of Muslim vegetarian society, and it's fine if you want to not eat meat, then that's up to you. But to suggest it's a religious requirement, it's ridiculous. Islam is perfected. We cannot perfect it any further. So, 2 messages in there. The mercy, I think we're missing the point. We need to, as a community, as a society, we need to be doing at least one. Alhamdulillah, we're fortunate in our house. We had 4 Qurbānīs this year. We did do a couple abroad, and we've done a couple here. So, but my children, alhamdulillah, are much older now. They're young adults. But they're since our early days, we've always tried to demonstrate that as a practice. So bring that practice back, inshallah. Let the children see it, let them engage in the activity of picking it up with their fathers and then with their mothers, distributing it, and obviously the important part is to eat it. So anyway, well, don't eat it raw. That's some advice I can share with you from my cuisine. Best go home, find different ways of cooking it and enjoy it.